bit of banter we probably should have caught that time.
Oh, yeah.
We skipped it.
Yeah. I mean, we had all that banter last episode. Or
Did we save it?
Last episode a bit with Joel. Yeah, well, if you listen to the fucking episode, mate, you'd be able to see that we had all the dick drawing stuff. And that's why
that's right.
decided to not bring the pads out today because, Reese kept on drawing dicks everywhere. So
one time.
Yeah.
It's problematic.
Children.
It is problematic, yeah. Not that this show is made for young people, but
What is the rating?
anyway, what is the rating? I don't know, mate. Like, I think we're just 18 plus. I don't
Do you
know
have to
what
put
that's
one on it?
Yeah, yep. You have to say if it's safe for kids or not. Clearly, it's not going to be safe for kids. So
Very
I guess
unlikely.
it's anything that's like 18 plus, I guess. But, mate, you're back.
Yes.
3 years later. What's been happening?
Oh, yeah, lots happened. 3 years has gone quick. But, plenty's happened. And you know, from the outside looking in, you'd probably think not that much has happened. But, a lot's happened on the inside for sure.
Yeah. Tell us about it. So last time you were on, we were talking a lot about journaling, being your sort of one percenter. We're not really focusing so much on the one percenters anymore, the little things, but more on those sort of pivotal moments in life. There's been a lot of those for you. Like, what's probably been the biggest one?
Well, definitely still journaling, by the way. That's still pretty important to me. I'm not going into a lot of detail anymore. You sort of realise you don't have much time to do all that sort of stuff, but it's just a good way to keep on track with what you're doing. It's just to jot it down. Otherwise, in my head, things just come in and whirl around and then exit again pretty quickly. So, thinking about this podcast today and you know, the in progress sort of stuff, one thing kept coming up for me, and it's something that happened probably about 2 years ago, which I noticed that one thing I was doing was I was taking life way too seriously, and I was letting the stresses of life and of business just get in my way and bring me down, and so one thing that and I'm still trying to do a lot is just, you know, play, basically, be you know.
I have noticed that in your Facebook reels. They're
that's
very different than what they used to be.
Exactly right. And that probably would have been about 18 months or so ago that I made a concerted effort to not take myself so seriously and just be, because me in those videos, that's me. You know, that's the real me. That's me naturally. That's me at home. And that's the person who I want to be when I'm out and about. But I always find myself, for some reason, when you get out and around people, you just, you know, you tense up, you close up, and you think, oh, yep, no worries, g'day, mate, how you going? You know, that sort of thing. So that's something that I'm trying to do constantly is just.
What was the penny drop moment for you?
About 2 years ago, I was, a lot of stresses were going along in the business, mainly financial things, like people weren't paying me. So I had a lot of issues with cash flow in the business because heaps of people owed me money, and it was just getting to this point where I couldn't pay bills because people owed me money, and it all just came to a head where I just fully stressed out. I wasn't telling anyone about all these issues that I was having. And so, it all just came down to the point where I was probably drinking too much of my own product to try and, you know, squash all the stresses rather than deal with it in the proper way. And it all came down to a pretty nasty event where I ended up losing my license. So, yeah, that was a big wake up call for me.
Yeah. That's a massive. That's a very big fucking penny.
Yeah, big penny. Yeah. So it was a big moment, big wake up call to say, oh, you know, what are you doing? It's I'm gonna end up hurting myself or someone else if I keep going this way.
Yeah.
And it was a big wake up call to say, look, you got to change things, and the big change was not letting those little things. And looking back, they're only little things, you know, they're things that can be changed, and don't let them bring you down and stress you out. And, you know, life's too short to be like that. So,
Did you know you were turning to it? Like, as in, did you know that you were drinking to cover it and hide
definitely,
it?
yeah,
You knew?
yeah, you do, but
Yeah.
you know,
You weren't like, oh, nah, I don't need it. I love one. Like, or were you like, I need to hide it?
yeah, I knew it was a problem.
Yeah.
yeah, definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
But I guess that's the way it goes. It's sort of you think that, and then all of a sudden you have one, and those thoughts
Yeah.
go away.
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
Do you have anyone else working with you at Short Street anymore?
No,
Just you?
yeah.
Yeah.
So
So you sort of left to your own devices a little bit, and in some ways probably even left in your own head for a good portion of the day.
absolutely, yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm sure that contributed to sort of how you were feeling and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, definitely. Yep. And, you know, it was a challenge being in a stress, you know, sitting in front of the computer looking at these emails and bills coming in and you know, not having that cash flow that I had, and having a cool room with literally thousands of litres of beer that's untraceable for me, you know, like it's not like a staff member who's trying to, you know, steal the stuff. Like I could just write it off and
Steal it anyway.
just drink it. So it was dangerous. But yeah, now I've come full circle. I'm on top of things now.
So is there anything other than taking yourself less serious that you sort of had to implement to make that change, or?
Not sure. That was the main thing. You know, it was just that event that happened was just such a big wake up call for me that it was just instant. It was just like that. Like everything completely changed overnight. I just realised that, you know, yeah, life's too short. What am I worrying about these things for? It's ruining my life. Let's just completely change.
I'm sure the business stress is still there. Like, was there things that you had to put into place with business wise to sort of make sure that the root cause of a lot of that shitness didn't sort of continue?
Yeah, definitely. You know, I had to. Funny saying, to not take things quite so seriously. I had to take the business more seriously.
Yeah.
You know, I had to really make sure those sort of things didn't happen again. Yeah.
How'd you do that?
Well, just the things through, I guess, just better cash flow management, you know, making sure I had more money sitting there ready to go. Also, you know, around invoicing, making sure things were set up that people would pay me in time rather than letting it get to where it got to.
Now, you weren't business growing up, is that right? You were agronomist, and then that was your trade, and then Button started out at Short Street because you frothed on beers.
Yep.
Pardon the pun. And then got real big real quick, and then we ended up down at the pier, not the pier, down at the wharf, and that was sick, and real good round there, and just boosted. Did you have a business coach or someone in your corner to help you with these things that may have stopped this happening?
No, I didn't, and I wish I did.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's something that if I could do it all again, I would definitely get someone with some business knowledge on my side to sort of, because back in those days I was just riding the wave, you know, it was plenty of money was coming in, so I wasn't too worried about the business side of things. It's only when you get to the pinch that you realise that, you need that support.
Yeah.
So you were, as Reece mentioned, sort of, I guess, the history and the timeline, like you started small, then got really quite big quite quick. Now you've tapered off back to just you. How's that whole thing sort of transpired, and what learnings did you get out of going real big real quick and doing everything that you done down at the pier, and how massive and all that was? And I'm not sure, you were probably still down at the pier when you were on last time, I reckon, 3 years ago.
I think it was just after, actually.
Just after.
Yeah.
Just finished up. So how has that been as far as a business journey for you, like managing those ups and downs? And do you feel like you're just going to stay as just you now, or do you miss that sort of having staff and that kind of space? Or, where's your mindset now?
Bit of both. I definitely don't miss how big that was, because it was for just one person, it was too big. Like if I had that someone else, like a good business manager, then it might have been a bit different. But I'm loving it, what I'm doing right now. You know, now that I've got my little cellar door back open, that is the sweet spot for me, because I'm getting the customers back in. I'm seeing faces, seeing friends on a regular basis, and that's what I love. That's the reason I got into the beer brewing, is to have that. The reason we have beer is for that social lubrication and connection and play. That's what it is. Really,
it is a little community down there now too, isn't it?
It is, definitely.
Got the familiar faces, and I think there's a little brewers club. Is there?
Yeah, we've got the homebrew club as well, which is great fun. Yeah. So,
quick plug. What day? What time?
Well, it's once a month, usually the first Sunday of the month.
Yeah, and the cellar door?
At the cellar door, 1 p.m.
Yeah, and the cellar door's every...
So the cellar door's every Friday and Sunday,
yeah.
4 to 7 at 32 Short Street.
There you go.
You might have to visit, eh?
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I haven't been
Live
down there yet.
podcast.
I've been pretty slack on
Yeah,
it.
maybe we do a podcast down there in the brewery.
Heck yeah.
Oh, the next one could be.
Yeah,
we could do
for
that.
sure. Great idea.
I don't know.
We touched on. Oh, I've got another question. So, last time when we talked about, we brought up the journaling last time. In that podcast, we spoke about how you hadn't told a lot of your closest people that you journaled, and that you'd had at the time you were seeing a professional for some help, and your closest people didn't know that, some of them. Did you tell them how you were going here before this episode that you had, or this event that you spoke of? Were you communicating that to them and getting advice or help from them, or were you hiding it?
I was still seeing them,
Yep.
but yeah, didn't stop it. And that's a funny one. It's when the root cause is something that's so hard to change. I feel like I needed that wake up call.
Yep.
Because all that work I was doing with the psychologist,
Yep.
it was helpful. It was giving me tips. It was giving me things to work on, but it wasn't that real in me reason to change.
Yep.
And so that wake up call was just, life changing, really.
Yep.
Yeah, but I don't recommend it.
No. Try and speak up before it, you reckon?
But I mean, I tried.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And there was
It's a
probably
hard
people
one.
telling you to not. Maybe.
Yeah, well, my wife definitely.
Talk a little bit more about that. We haven't probably spoke too much about your partner in this scenario. Like, did she sort of pick up on something was not right, or had she
definitely.
mentioned to you or anything like that, and you'd sort of brushed it off? Or
Yeah, no, definitely. She's been, she's been that barometer the whole time. She's she knows when I'm not right, and she knew I wasn't right. But I guess she was trusting in the work that I was doing, that it was leading to positive changes. But yeah,
It's a tricky one. I feel like it's so hard to bring up in that relationship level if something is amiss. You got to be careful with the way it's approached and stuff. I know the one that hits the hardest is when the kids say something. Like if the kids turn around and be like, especially like, I know the phones is a big one, and the kids say, "Oh, but you're on your phone." I'm like, whoa, that cuts. That really hurts. Like, and I'm like, I've got it wrong here, and I need to try and fix it, especially so in that moment. But
and that's one major thing that's made me not take myself so seriously is the kids with the age they are at the moment. They're 6 and 9. You know, I just love being around them and playing with them, and every weekend's different. And you know, that's the sort of person I want to be. And back that 2 years ago, I just wasn't that person.
Yeah.
Yep.
And off the back of losing the license, there was some walking.
Yes.
You've trimmed up a bit.
Yeah.
And fit. And I do bump into you a bit down on the beach when you're going for a nightly swim and the kids are down there on the surfboards, and it does look heaps of fun. It looks sick. So that's awesome to see all the time. The kids look freezing. No.
A bit fucking chilly now.
It's
Gee
cold
whiz.
down there. But it's nice.
It's good now.
A freshwater swim's
Not
the
too
way
bad.
to go.
No, this is the best time.
Yeah.
Air temperature. Sometimes the oceans are warmer than the air temperature this time of year.
All right.
Should be
Do it
cold
tonight.
I don't know. I just sold my ice bath. I don't know if I need to get in the,
Oh, did you
get
have
in the
one?
water. Yeah, mate.
Oh,
I
thanks
did.
for the heads up.
Sold it to an old dude. It's been for sale for like a month.
Old
Could've
dude's going to
fucking
get
bought
in
it.
there and freeze. He'll think it's the morgue. Just setting him up.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he's doing
Grouse.
the overland track, so he wanted to get in an ice bath. And I was like, keen.
Yeah, right.
So what's forward now then? What's
Yeah, well,
does it look like?
I guess continuing to work on trying to be who I want to be, which is that playful, fun person who I was as a kid, who I am in those videos that you see online. You know, just trying to be that person. That's what I'm constantly trying to do. From a business side of things, beer sort of it's definitely since I started, it's been that pretty crazy roller coaster for small independent breweries. It sort of took off, and especially during and just after COVID, it was massive. But there's been a big decrease in the last couple of years, and you might have heard of a lot of smaller breweries going into administration or receivership. So, yeah, a lot of smaller breweries are doing it pretty tough at the moment, especially when fuel prices are the way they are. It's people are trying to save a penny, and which makes it hard for us. But there's definitely a trend towards lower strength beers and even non-alc. So I'm sort of playing in that area at the moment too.
It's exciting. Some of the non-alc stuff's actually good. Like you can still get the same flavour. I know Dale made some when he was down there, years ago now, and it tasted exactly the same. Zero alcohol. You could, and he canned it. It was in a can, so you could just drink it with your mates, and they wouldn't even know. I was like, buy me heaps of that.
Do you reckon people still care? Like you say, you could drink it with your mates and they wouldn't even know. Do you reckon people
I don't
give a fuck these days?
I don't know.
I think it's the same with everything though. Like you care more than everyone else does.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what the topic is.
Yeah.
You care more than everyone else does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like when I talk to people about going to the gym and they're just like, oh, I don't want to go to the gym because people will look at me. And you're just like, when you go to the gym, no one fucking looks at you. No one gives a shit.
Everyone's
Like, they're
in
just
the same
there doing
thing.
their same shit. Like
Yeah.
they're just there just sort of doing their own grind. Like they don't care what you look like doing it.
Yeah.
No, like I question that with the beer. Do you think anyone's actually going to judge you for drinking non-alcoholic beer?
Yaz is definitely not going to agree with me here, but I can just not have a beer and then I don't care what anyone says, even if they just hound you. But like, I have a lot of beers sometimes too. So she's going to be like, that's not true, but it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I've sort of, I wouldn't say I've gone off beer, but it's just I'm trying to do a Josh and trim up a little bit, and a few too many beers, like it doesn't necessarily bode well to that journey that you're trying to go on. But
It's easy calories, isn't it?
liquid calories are some of the easiest calories. Like it's not longer, not many beers, and you're pretty much a Big Mac meal and a half a quarter pounder in, and yeah, it's a bit of a challenge, but.
How do you go with the kids that age in that the age difference 3 years ago to now? This is completely off topic what we've been talking about. But just as the kids grow, how do you find changing with them? 6 and 9 now, you said, I think. So you're almost at someone's going to ask for a phone for their 10th birthday. That's going to be a thing. And maybe. And
Already asking.
there you go. But yeah, that transition, like as we go through it, we don't really talk about it much as to how much things change through that process. Like, you know, even just friendship groups at school, I'm like, I want nothing to do with it. Your friends, you deal with it, figure it out. Like, but do we have to worry about those things, and do you? Like,
It's interesting. It's something you're always sort of watching, isn't it? Sort of in the background, but I don't know. My eldest, he's a funny one. I don't know. I can't gauge anything off him. He's one of those ones that's like, you come home, how's school? Good. What happened? Nothing.
They're all like that.
good chat, mate. Good chat.
You know, our youngest, the girl, she's full of beans. She'll tell us what happened to Oliver. So
No secrets at your place.
no, that's right. But no, I don't know. They're at that age where they seem to be able to make friends with most kids, and it's good. And yeah, it just seems like every weekend it's something different though. At the moment, like last weekend it was mountain biking. This weekend it's footy. The next weekend it's golf, and you know it's so much fun.
I was about to say, how do you manage that? Your kids are at that age now where they're probably starting to do footy, soccer, surf club,
Yep.
circus, all that shit. How do you, and then your primary sort of, I guess you're working Fridays, you're not really working Saturdays. Oh, sort of Sundays. How do you manage that? The challenges of two kids wanting to do everything, and your work being hospitality sort of focused and being a weekend sort of thing.
It's at the moment it's pretty good because it's just 4 to 7. Yeah, I manage it fine, and like you say, I get all day Saturday is good, and then Sunday up until about 3 o'clock. So it doesn't really feel like I'm working a weekend really.
Yeah, and you'd have a little bit of flexibility during the week as well with your stuff.
Absolutely, yeah. My wife, she's pretty much full time now, so I'm the one taking the back seat, doing the drop offs and pickups and running them around and that sort of thing. So I'm enjoying that.
Yeah, yeah. As someone that had a few months off here, you know, I don't know, what was it, 9 months ago, whatever it was. That was actually just some of the best time that I've had, just hanging out with. I had 3 or 4 months off, just hanging out with a little fella who was 2.5 at the time. So it's awesome. So I can totally relate to that 100%. Like I'd love that opportunity to, when he gets old enough to go to school, to drop him off, to pick him up, that kind of thing. Because I think that's something that I don't know if a lot of people take for granted, but not a lot of blokes don't necessarily get the opportunity. Not that they don't want it. I think as well is something that I think we don't talk about enough. It's not that a lot of guys don't want to come pick up their kids. It's usually that the guys are the ones doing majority of the work hours in most families. So it is a fortunate position that you're in to be able to have that role where you can sort of take that lead role in taking the kids to school and that kind of thing. But
no, I love it.
Yeah, when you get to that stage, it is worth sort of making some time and trying to do that once or twice. I mean, I don't get there all the time, not every day, definitely not. But yeah, it's good to go in and drop them off, and they show you what's going on in the classroom and stuff. It's really cool.
Yeah. So outside brewery life, what else has been bubbling up?
Not a great deal, to be honest. No, I mean, doing a bit down at the surf club, helping out down there. But no, it's just family, you know, just living life. And
as Reese mentioned, you'd obviously trimmed up a bit since. Oh, I shouldn't say obviously. Like it wasn't like you were fucking massive oak beforehand, but you've definitely trimmed up a bit since, over the past couple of years.
Yep.
What sort of spurred that on? Was it literally just that big penny drop moment and the extra walking, or was it, a choice that you sort of made that you wanted to do something a bit different?
I've always been into running. That's something that I've always done, but I feel like that change that happened, and I cut out alcohol completely actually since that moment, which is hard for a brewer, but I can still do tastings and that sort of thing. But that has been something that's sort of helped that side of things. But I mean, a lot of it's diet related. You know, I've had a few gut issues, which I'm sort of working through at the moment, just around finding out what the problem is and having to cut out lots of different sugars and lactose and bits and pieces. So that's probably helped as well.
The joys of getting old.
Yeah. Yeah. It's great.
Yeah, back in the day, you just eat anything, couldn't you?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Eat anything.
Old iron gut.
Yep. And you wouldn't put it on.
No.
You just
Yeah, I wish I was back in those days.
Yeah, I wasted them so much.
Oh, same.
I feel like I've had those issues for a long time, but I've just ignored them. Like it's just, oh, well, I've got upset gut. Oh, well, is what it is. But
or you just think it's normal. Like this is what
Yeah.
everyone does it. And it's like,
Yeah.
maybe not.
Yeah. And then when you have kids and you're trying to like run around after them, it's probably not the most convenient thing in the world.
yeah.
And I tried to book a doctor's appointment yesterday. Nightmare. So hard online. Really struggled with it. So I'm just like, I'm not going then. Don't worry about it. Yaz is like, I'll ring them Monday for you. Thank you. I'm like, that'd be good because we ain't going, are we? As blokes, we're not going to the doctor.
No, it's not great.
No, definitely not. Man, it's been great having you on. Great to catch up again. I will probably, or I reckon we will get in touch around doing a pod down at the brewery. I think that would actually be pretty cool. It's not like we have anything super major that takes a whole heap of moving, but we'll talk about that in the future. But otherwise, man.
I'll turn off all the pumps and bits and pieces that are making noises, and that'll be lovely.
Do it
ruin
an
the
evening
beer,
or
though.
something like that.
What's that?
Don't ruin the beer though.
leave the taps on, as long as we don't ruin the beer. But it's not too bad. Like, I mean, these microphones are pretty good at cutting out noise, but we'll have a chat about it because I reckon that would be a pretty cool thing to do.
It would.
Sick.
All right, gents.
Legends.
Yes.
Thanks, Josh.
Thanks.
Cheers,
Unless
John.
there's
My
anything else you
pleasure.
want to chat
No. I think you're doing a great job. I love happy to come on and have a chat. I think it's great. Hopefully.
Thanks, man. And I reckon people will get something out of, what you've spoken about today, and I'm sure there's a few people that can probably relate as well. So
Hopefully.
Definitely. We had to start again because we started talking about beers and I had to apologise for offering Josh a beer when I didn't know.
Yeah.
Off the piss.
I've tried to keep off it.
Which is fine. But then we talked about non-alcoholic beers and that I said it sucks because they cost the same as an alcoholic beer, but Josh informed me that.
Straightened you out.
Sometimes it can cost more. What I've been doing with mine, it's what I've found is because it's the non-alc beers, you usually the same sort of process, and so there's still quite a lot of sugars left in the product, and any trace of yeast in that product in the can is going to ferment the sugars, and which is going to lead to exploding cans. So you either need to pasteurize the product or add some sort of preservative or filter the yeast out. So in a lot of cases, it can be more expensive.
There you go.
Than alcohol, because alcohol is the natural preservative in other beers. That's why you don't get that issue.
So without giving away too many trade secrets, like what are you guys, or what are you sort of experimenting with doing with your non-alcoholic sort of range?
So I'm looking at using a particular type of yeast which only ferments certain types of sugars. So it only ferments glucose and not the maltose and maltotriose. So you only get basically 0.05 alcohol in the product, but you still have that issue of when you're packaging any sort of yeast floating in the air or on the equipment, if that gets into that can, then it's going to ferment those other sugars.
Yeah.
So
How strict are is there like a regulators or anything like that regulate sort of non-alcoholic beer ranges and things before you can sort of distribute them to, your corner store or your takeaway store, like to actually say that it's a non-alcoholic beer? Like, how strict are they with how much? Because I'm assuming it'd be hard to make sure that there was no trace amounts of alcohol within a non-alcoholic beer.
Yeah, well, I believe it falls under a whole different thing, because when you get to that sort of level of alcohol, it's actually it becomes a food product rather than an alcoholic beverage. So just like any other soda or thing is a food product. So yeah, you sort
Does
of.
that mean you need to start then having all the food labels with like
Nutritional
calories and
information.
all that stuff, because it's no longer a beverage or an alcoholic beverage,
Yeah.
which Yeah, wow.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Like,
There's a lot more sort of science and stuff involved in making like non-alcoholic brew than there is just beer.
yeah,
That'd have to be a really easy thing for the government to sort of wind out some of the complexity if you just said, brewed beverage don't need to have all your nutritional stuff.
I heard they're going to tax it.
wouldn't be surprised.
Tax all the things.
These people pay more tax than the gas companies, haven't you heard?
Oh, now we're going into a downward spiral here, aren't we?
We're talking about the gas companies and mining and all that kind of stuff and how we should be billionaires and all that kind of stuff.
The other one we mentioned then when we went off air and then come back on, I'm not allowed to say that because we might cut it back in.
I don't know what you say, mate. I'll probably put it in as an extra at the end.
Aaron
will fix it.
Yeah, I'll sort her out.
Is it a struggle? Like, and I mean, this is for the people that are thinking of being off the piss, I suppose. Has it been a struggle for you when, the people around you are offering you beer all the time? Or I assume that people come into the brewery and they're like, oh, did you want one? Or, or they just assume that you drink beers because you're at the brewery.
Yeah, it's not a struggle for me now. People still give me shit.
Yeah.
I'll go to, I'll go to a place and order a non-alc beer, and someone will make a comment and that sort of thing, and I'll just don't care, just brush it off. Is what it is. Yeah.
Some people do, and I think that's the funny thing. Like, I always sort of think of it this way: like, I like a beer. I don't necessarily like alcohol per se. If I really cared about alcohol, I'd just fucking drink vodka.
Yeah.
Like, I like beer because I like the taste of beer. So for all the people that are like whinging about you not drinking, like alcoholic beer, like what's, like, do they actually like beer or are they just trying to get, do they actually like the alcohol? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, I'm real not perplexed by that whole thing, but the idea of, in my mind, of going out and drinking a beer is you're socialising, you're talking shit, you're doing all that kind of stuff. Why does it have to involve alcohol?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think you said too that the attitudes are changing. There's all these new non-alcs coming out on the market and all this sort of stuff. That sort of speaks to the fact that society as a whole is more accepting of, there's less of this pisshead culture that sort of goes, let's get on the beers and get shit-faced. I don't know where I was going with this, but that's a point.
That's right. It's definitely trending away from that.
Yeah. So it's more accepting. Like, you go out and have your non-alc, and you don't necessarily get that ribbing that you would usually have got back in the day. And even then, like, it's a really easy, it's a low hanging fruit for those guys that want to knock on you for that. Like, really, it's.
Is there many
get better
small batch brewers? Like, I don't know, are you considered still a small batch brewery? Yeah. Is there many of you guys in Tassie at least doing non-alc products?
I don't think anyone is.
Yeah, right. Because of the complexity, or just because they don't think that there's a market? Or
I'm not sure there are reasons. No.
Yeah.
I don't think. I might be wrong, but I don't think there is a Tassie non-alc beer.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sing out if
There
you
you
got
go.
one.
Trendsetter.
No.
How
Do you
far-
have a good
How
community?
long before you ever have one? Do you reckon?
I'm still experimenting. The last batch I tried, that yeast that I said you need to watch out for,
definitely in there,
got
wasn't
in. And it ended up being a 4% beer. So,
that much of a difference?
yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
That's crazy.
And is that just a contamination yeast thing, or you didn't filter it, or was that
Yeah, it just got in.
you got no idea how?
I'm pretty sure I know how. So yeah.
Is that because of the so in a non-alcoholic beer, because you don't have alcohol in it, are you using sugar as a preservative in the actual beer, or there's just leftover?
There's just leftover sugars.
Heaps of leftover sugars from
Yeah.
the fermentation process. Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a big.
It's big. That's a
I'm
massive-
I'm
that's a
scared
massive
now
jump.
to get one off the shelf at Woolies just in case.
Well, it did explode before it got to
Oh,
that.
did it?
Yeah.
Oh.
So this was in the tank before
righto.
I packaged it. Yeah.
Yeah. And you have to waste all that as a.
No, well, it still came out as a drinkable beer, so I just
Yep.
Branded
Box it
it
up.
as something.
Gave it a
and
name.
Yeah.
New
shot it
line.
out. I'm sure it tasted fine. Yeah. I doubt it tasted poor.
non-alc.
Non-alcoholic. Yeah, it sounds like a process. So what do you reckon? Six months?
Possibly, yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah, cool. Well, I look forward to it as someone that does enjoy the taste of beer but isn't necessarily give too many fucks about alcohol.
Same calories, mate. Same calories. Same
Oh,
calories.
yeah, I know. Like, yeah, you don't. Well,
We're just
you
going
know,
to take
you
it
can
running, mate.
have more beers and not be worried about going red in the face and actually being able to drive home. So, yeah, not offended by the idea at all.
I know.
Anyway, without stealing any more of your trade secrets before you run away and turning this into a beer brewing podcast, which we probably could because I've done homebrew before.
I've never done it.
Haven't you?
No.
Fuck, really?
Yeah, I just drink it.
That surprises me.
I'd
Yeah.
like to do like the spirits. I reckon that'd be the go.
Yeah. Why?
I don't know. I just think that I
Beer
don't think I'd make a good beer.
Beer was pretty fun.
I feel like the
did enjoy
kits, you get the Cooper's kits from Woolies or whatever, and I think that that'd just be dog shit. I'd assume.
Yeah.
And the amount of blokes that bring over, they're like, "Oh, I've got this beer. It tastes exactly like Bogues." I'm like, "It tastes nothing like it, mate. Nowhere near. It's
about the same colour. That's it.
Anyone that comes here and says that they've made a homebrew beer that tastes good, most of the time, shit house. Unless we
unless
probably
you
need to
come
go
to the
down
homebrew club.
The homebrew club,
Yeah.
I reckon.
No,
Yeah.
we made, me and another mate, Luke Turner, like we done heaps of home brews. This was now, I'm talking 10 years ago.
I remember
we
homebrew
made
up
that
the road.
6%. You remember what?
I remember the homebrew up the road that got sprayed across the table when someone drank it.
Oh,
that shouldn't have.
yeah. Yeah, I made a fair few and they were very, very, very alcoholic. Like just... Yeah, but like I went down to the brewing shop in Launceston and bought a whole heap of different like hops and different went through the whole process of using now I'm going back, the different malt syrups and stuff like that. Never actually, I think I done one Cooper's kit, but then the rest of it was going on forums and mainly it seemed to be a lot of old dudes from America. That was where a lot of the forum information was, and I remember that one that we made at that I had up at Top Gawler. That was it had some kind of cosmic hop or something like that in it. And it was anyway, it was a really strong IPA. And there was a few bottles that I think probably didn't get cleaned properly. So then,
Josh is just cringing.
you crack these bottles and they basically just exploded. And this shit went everywhere. And a few tasted like vinegar, but
Lovely.
yeah, that's all. It's
a learning experience.
It's all part and
So far
parcel,
you're
isn't
telling
it?
me.
But no, we done that for a while. But then it just became it honestly became a bit of a ball ache. And a bit of an expense as well. Like when you start to get really into it, and you try and get those the heat sleeve things that you put around your fermentation tub. Like talking to the brewmaster.
Is this how you
here,
started?
like-
That's how you started, just
with
at home?
Cooper's kit. Yeah.
Did you really?
Yep.
Yeah.
Look what you
Did you
can
start
do.
with that like 80-litre kit that you got from Kmart? That like
Yeah,
the big,
literally the
That's what I'm talking about.
That's how everyone
everyone-
starts.
You could have made it,
Yeah.
Aaron. You could have done this.
Yeah.
I couldn't have. I don't have the patience. I don't have the patience for all the cleaning. Like there's so much bullshit in cleaning.
Bottle cleaning is the worst thing ever. As soon as
Yep.
you realise you can keg it instead of bottling,
Yeah.
it's a big step forward.
Is it? I didn't get to that stage. No, I was just using the PET bottles that came in the Cooper's kit.
You can keg
Yeah.
it at home now. Like you can get the kits at home pretty easy now, can't you?
Yeah. Yep.
Someone will just punch it in a keg for you and put it in the fridge and away you go.
Yep.
Yeah. Do you clean your own kegs, or like do you
Yeah.
actually take it to someone? Like
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, they're easy to clean. Those the little kegs, you can take the whole top thing off and give them a good scrub.
yeah, right.
Kegerators or something, aren't they? Or-
Absolutely,
yeah,
yeah.
that's it.
That's it.
There we go.
Now tap
I
in
think
your
this
kitchen.
conversation's going to continue on when we do our pod down at the brewery.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Maybe we get the Brewers Club in.
Yeah, load up.
Oh, great idea. There's plenty of
There'll be
people in the Brewers Club.
Plenty of talkers there too.
on for a chat.
Good.
Righto.
All right. We'll actually close off this
Wrap
time.
it up.
Thanks, Josh.
Righto.
Cheers.
Thanks, mate.
Cheers.